Hello friends of Rice's, I'm Brad with Rice's More Than Floors here in Marshfield, Wisconsin. And today I'm just showing off here our newest creation, which is our Quick Ship stocking program. So we're showing 56 different roll options in our store in a small space. So what you have here is an area, yes it's big, and you sit down, it's 16 foot long, and it is 8 foot tall to the top carpet one there. And it's about 3'6" deep at the bottom, the way we designed it. However, 16 foot long, 3'6" deep at the bottom, showing 56 stocking rolls or so is a pretty small space. So you might say I don't have the space. You do, just listen. How this was built is that they're 2 foot sections. So each section's 2 foot. It unclips from each other. So you can take a 2 foot section or two 2-footers and roll them off and put them somewhere else in the store. So it unclips, and they're all on wheels. Every single display we have is on wheels, even a lot of our desks. Things are on wheels so that we can quickly move along and change up. You know, we can change things up in the store. So internally here, what we built, these are on concrete tubes. So let me grab this down here. What this is a 12-inch concrete tube from a box store, and just cut it in half. Some 1-bys here screwed to it, and these are some picture frame or some picture hooks. Like 12-inch stock, we just cut them down and had the guys screw it to it. So give credit where credit is due. I have to thank Ben with Leon Country Floors and More down in Sparta, Wisconsin. He gave us the nugget of information. I was down at his store and I had seen a smaller version of this, a smaller concept, and we had been planning on building a color wall or a stocking program, getting our huge heaping pile of carpet out of here. And I saw it and it gave us the idea to just build this, and mobile and wheels with lights and place to store the samples. We'll get to that in a second. So that's what this is. That's why that's showing up there. Pretty cool thing too, if like you had one that was discontinued, you could take some signage. This one happens to be one from the Shaw Podium display. They send you all this promotional items. This one was an extra one. And you can actually slip it in here and cover up that spot so it looks nice. You know, it looks professional, looks nice. The rest of the signage also came from the Podium, and then that's an old Shaw display. So we're probably showing about 75% of this is Shaw material. So lighting, we found that online. That would be something I'd be cautious of finding, that you'd make sure, like this one, when you unplug it or turn the master off, you got to put it back together, and then you got to turn every light switch on manually. So how this works though, the cool part about this, the samples, maybe Mrs. Jones loves this. This one happens to be Yes You Can. Well, it comes in 3 weights, comes in 2 widths, and a whole bunch of other colors. But maybe she does love this one in this weight. Remove that piece off. RSA grabs her sample, and she can take that home. So she takes this home, and she compares it to, bear with me, I'm gonna grab a sample off the floor here. She compares it to what your competition sent along with her, and that happens to be a cutoff piece from the roll. So when this is laying there compared to a beautiful bound sample, what is she gonna want? What's her husband or partner gonna want? Not that one. This is always gonna look better. So we have in recent years invested into ourselves, like we all should be doing, into binding equipment. So we're able to bind our own samples. So you can make your own samples from your stock rolls or maybe a remnant, and not have to create a sample the next time you bring in a roll, and the next time, if this is part of your stocking program. Plus this comes back. It's not an oversized one. These 11 by 17-ish ones, they seem to come back. And then when they come back, your sales team knows where they go. So instead of saying, here's our big heaping pile, and you got to cut a chunk off, and then the next RSA is looking for a knife, and they cut a chunk and another chunk, and you got this big wasted roll because they stair-stepped it off. Now you have a solution, a professional solution that looks good, and it's going to increase sales just because of what you're sending along. Maybe she doesn't like this color. Well, great. On the side of your display here, already pulled it out, you have a book hanging, maybe one of your best sellers that's featured on here. Well, here you got 100 and some odd more options technically. Here's your color wheel in 3 weights and 2 widths shown on that little spot. You don't need the space. I mean, it seems like it takes up a lot of space, but you can build this and modify it to what works for you and your space. And it's on wheels, right? Maybe you only have enough space in your store for 1 or 2 2-foot sections. Well, let's take 2 2-foot sections. How many rolls is that, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 rolls you're showing in an area that's, this one happens to be 8 foot tall, 4 foot wide, 3 foot 6 deep, with samples, take-home samples. Even on the front here, a little tip when you build these, if you decide to run with this, you might say, well, the labels, how do we do that? Well, this is just a U-line label, just a plastic stick-on label, and you can print or write on it. But the tip with that, tip or trick on that would be once you peel this off, this plastic piece, use something like power tape. So Tarkett makes this, I think Shaw has that power tape material, so that double that up on that peel and stick, and it'll stick and stay on that carpet. So other things too, be carpet pad you can have hanging on the side, so your carpet pad is right here, ready to go. You know, that's ready to go for your customer. That's hanging on the side of the display. In our store, we're in a rural community, but we decided to bring in 3 different pads. So we have, I don't even want to call it really good, better, best. It's more like a better, best, premium is what we keep. We kind of just got rid of that junk. Time, yeah, it takes some time to build it. Maybe not so much because we've done the work on what works and what doesn't. Takes time. It's definitely got some investment into it. But you know, you have the money. And if you think, no, I don't, well, just look out in your parking lot. Are you driving a Denali pickup? Do you have a lake home? Do you have things that you probably should have been reinvesting into yourself, into the store? Invest back into yourself, and that's where the money's going to come from. Our team helped with this. That was our big thing, our in-house installation team. We had a little downtime, and some of it we just scheduled so that it would get done. Because what happens here now when the customers come in and look at this, what's happening is they're finding the samples and they're out of here quicker. How much more do they need to look at? Color coding labels, how we did it. The pink one here means that it's a roll special. It's got a material number on it, so hopefully you have industry-specific software. Ours is Q-Floors. And once they type this in, brings up the product because it says the style, the color, and the width. They know that that's all we have with the pink label. Easy for the RSA to find. It's priced, so the customer wants it. They want pricing, right? Or it tells the other descriptions on the ounces and the other widths that they're available in. So this is showing way more than 56 rolls. It's all the other options when there's other colors available, or you just key on things. The yellow ones, the yellow tags on here are either stuff that we're not stocking anymore, or it could be something that, yeah, we're not stocking anymore, but you can reorder it. And that's priced accordingly. So some of the team members found stuff they really love. We put it on the color wall or our stocking quick ship program. And now they can quickly walk up there, have a take-home sample with them to go. So things we would change, I'd be cautious on the lights, make sure that they actually turn back on when you plug it back in. The width inside here, we would make this framing a little different so those 11 by 17 samples slide in and out a little easier. And then these tubes that we made, it would be nicer if they actually hinged up, if it just hinged up and stayed on there, because we're constantly straightening them out. Well, that's just more of an annoyance. Otherwise, the fact that this is built in 2-foot sections on wheels, it really makes it customizable. You have the space, you have to just get creative. This thing doesn't have to be built to 8 foot tall to this top. It could be maybe right down to 7 or 6, whatever fits your needs. It's fully mobile. You might say, well, it's a little tall. We've got a ladder on the side. You know, we got a ladder and the RSA climbs, pulls that up on one step, takes a sample out, puts it back, sends it home. So the process is easier. It looks way more professional, and the signage you just keep from old displays. Like I said, this one here and the ones up there came from the podium displays from Shaw, so we repurposed it. And majority of what we have on here happens to be Shaw. But that's all I have for you today on this. I just thought we'd share because it really took care of a lot of our issues and problems with not only the heaping pile of carpet and trying to manage that, but sampling for that. When a customer saw that, they're like, I want that. Now RSA is scrambling for a sample because they don't get put back on or pinned back on. It's just a disaster. And we got professional samples in one spot That takes up a heck of a lot of space than what 56 rolls would take up. So that's all I have for you today. Just definitely leave a comment at the bottom if you have more questions, if you want more details on how we built it. We'll give you tips and tricks. We really don't have drawing, but we can walk you through it. And as always, practice presence. So stay present. Thank you.